Hey everyone, Blaze here. Welcome to another Discotek news video. This is going to cover like the last 3 months, plus a couple of announcements from like almost 5 months ago, but I just never got around to covering for some reason. But anyway, a quick other note, I'm using the white balance on this camera, which I've never fiddled with before. I'm hoping it will make filming in the evening look better. So yeah, tell me if it doesn't or whatever. I guess I'll probably figure it out in editing if it does or not. I'm pretty sure it will. It looks better on the preview anyway. So yeah, I've got like 3 pages of stuff to get through. I'm sure most of you know all of this by now, but I know that at least a few are out there like hearing me do these videos and talking about this stuff. So I'm going to start off with easily the biggest announcement, as normal, at least normal for like the last few videos. I've done all the announcements not in order, but in order, only in order of how excited I am for them. So my favourite announcement to my least favourite. So we get the big ones out of the way first, which is more fun. So straight up, to begin with, we've got announced all the way back in June, which is like 5 months ago now. Almost to the day actually this was announced. I teased about it in like the last Discotek update video. For some reason I just didn't ever get around to saying it. I was just like, I'll do it in the next video with the Otakon stuff, which I never got around to doing at the time. Or at least finishing the editing. I filmed it, I just never actually got around to doing the editing. They've announced stuff since, so here I am doing the new video. Anyway, what am I talking about? The big announcement, the biggest one that I'm most excited for, is unsurprisingly a Ladyverse title. It is a re-release, but it's coming to Blu-ray for the first time, and that is Galaxy Express 39, the first two movies. So we got Galaxy Express 39 and Adieu Galaxy Express 39, the sequel. So yeah, this is the Korean box set, Blu-ray box set, which has the English subtitles on it, and with the Japanese Blu-ray master. Of course, we've got the free DVDs here. So these were put out by Discotek in the past. We've got the first movie, second movie, and the third movie. The third movie is sub only. It does have a Blu-ray release in Japan, so I'm sort of disappointed this isn't coming over. I hope it will eventually. I don't know why it's missing out at the moment. I know it's not as popular, and it's quite a shorter movie. Like, it runs at under an hour. It's more like an OVA, honestly, but still, like, I would like to have this on Blu-ray, please. Discotek, if you can make that happen. But yeah, obviously these DVDs have dub and sub, which the Korean Blu-ray box set does not, so that's a nice addition. And in general, I'm hoping that they just do more with this release than they did originally. Obviously, back in, I think those DVDs came out in like 2011 or something, so it was quite a long time ago now, like 6 years ago. So I'm sort of hoping that now they might do a commentary. Obviously, I bet you guys could see that, me saying that from a mile off. But yeah, I would love to hear a Mike Toole commentary on at least one of the films. He don't need to do one on both, but it'd be nice to have a commentary on one of them. There's obviously Galaxy Express 29 is an incredibly popular series in Japan as well as obviously around the world, so it'd be really cool to hear some of the history of that film. Behind the scenes and stuff like that. I really like the one he did for Arcadia of My Youth, so I'd love a commentary for one of those films, obviously. Another thing to keep in mind, the Blu-ray in Japan and the Korean one that I own has been DNR'd. So yeah, it's a beautiful HD production in terms of like the resolution. It's certainly an upgrade on the DVDs. But all the film grain has been scrubbed out. It's pretty, yeah, bare bones in terms of film grain. Like, they really went to town on it. This is back. I mean, the first film, like Galaxy Express 39, coming out in Japan, was like one of the first Toei Animation Blu-rays. I think, like one of the first handful, and they were still, you know, settling into the format, I guess. And like some studios made some, in my opinion, terrible decisions when it comes to like DNR. Toei Animation aren't the only ones by any means. So yeah, there's no remaster of the Blu-ray in Japan. I don't know, Discotek have not as of yet come out and said anything else about this release. Now that has me hopeful, that perhaps they're getting a better transfer, because I feel like Discotek are the sort of company that wouldn't release something DNR'd as much as like the Galaxy Express 39 film is in its current state in HD, unless they literally had no other choice, because it just doesn't seem like Discotek's way of doing things. Discotek, as far as I'm concerned, over the years, especially with like how much they include like the likes of Mike Toole into their, you know, behind the scenes production and things like that, and Reese Nelson for like Lupin and stuff. Like they care, like they're like fans, and fans wouldn't necessarily want something that is DNR'd quite as aggressively as the current format Galaxy Express 39 film is. So I'm really hopeful. The fact we haven't heard anything means that, one, they're doing some extra stuff like a commentary and maybe getting some more extras or something, and really giving this the treatment it deserves on the home video, and that obviously includes hopefully an improved video presentation. I don't know if there's no news as far as I'm aware of Japan having the films being re-released on Blu-ray, but still, that hasn't stopped Discotek before. There's a couple of things on this list even that I'm going to be talking about that aren't on Blu-ray in Japan but will be coming out on Blu-ray via Discotek, and other examples from the past that Discotek have done, like Jungle Emperor Leo doesn't have a Blu-ray release in Japan, but it does in the America, thanks to Discotek. So anyway, yeah, Galaxy Express 39, I've talked about that probably long enough, but unsurprisingly that is by far my most exciting announcement that Discotek have done that I haven't talked about yet. Unfortunately, the Otakon panel, there was some awesome stuff which I'll be getting into, but yeah, there was no Ladyverse stuff, which left me slightly disappointed. I hope some new Ladyverse titles will be coming out in 2018 from Discotek. Still hoping for like Space Symphony Meteru, Galaxy Railways 2, my brain's completely frozen. Like maybe a re-release or something like Harlock Saga, with like a better transfer if there is one. I don't actually know if there is. Like stuff like that, as well as any other like Super Submarine 99 or whatever, like things like that. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, the next thing is by far the biggest announcement for probably most people, and it came out of their Otakon panel. It is another re-release, but it's a pretty significant one. So Robot Carnival was a film that a lot of people really wanted to own for years on home video in English. I think it probably got a VHS release back in the day, I can't remember, but yeah, this is the DVD release that Discotek put out, and they've come out and announced that their Otakon panel for the 30th anniversary of Robot Carnival, they're going to be doing a very deluxe Blu-ray release, which obviously says, to me at least, that this sold pretty well, and its popularity wasn't you know, a plastic thing. Like, people really do love this film, and people came out and bought this DVD and supported it, which is awesome. Because yeah, now they're doing a Blu-ray and they're going full hog on it. Like, so they've already announced they're doing a documentary. It's going to be a short one, but a documentary about the film and stuff. And they're going to include every cut of the film, sort of. It's not really a cut. Obviously, the film is 9 shorts. Or 9.5 as I like to think of it, since the first short is, or one of the shorts is split into 2 because it's the opening and ending credits. So yeah, 9.5 I like to think of it as. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, got all those, because it's a film presented as shorts, like it has streamlined pictures. They did 2 apparently different presentations, which I don't believe the DVD. The DVD has like just the one presentation which matches the Japanese, so the audio tracks sync up like between, you know, whatever audio you choose to watch the film in. So with the Blu-ray, with the added technology of Blu-ray, they're hoping to be able to do like a branching thing, which means you'll be able to watch it via the Japanese presentation and the 2 different streamlined ones, which is pretty crazy. Honestly, it's not something that I'm like would really desperately need. I didn't even really know about it, but it's still cool they're doing it. So yeah, it'd be a way to experience Robot Carnival in a different way as they did in the past. So that's kind of cool. What else have I got here? Oh yeah, they're doing the that actually isn't on the notepad, but I just remembered that they're doing the storyboard thing. So you're able to watch the film, you have like a picture-in-picture of the storyboard going along with it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, basically one of the things they said at the panel is that they want to make this as Criterion Collection like quality as possible. So yeah, this is going to be as deluxe as possible. I'm guessing it's going to be near enough similar to what they did with Street Fighter 2 the movie, possibly even more deluxe than that. I hope so, because Street Fighter 2 the movie didn't have a commentary. I hope that it did have like a short behind the scenes thing instead. I'm hoping that the fact that Robot Carnival is also going to have like that short documentary thing doesn't mean we're missing out on a commentary again, because on the DVD, Mike Toole did a liner notes thing called Automata Saturnalia, which is an essay basically. I would really like to hear a comment. I prefer commentaries because I get to watch the film and directly know what he's talking about as I'm watching it, which I find more interesting. So yeah, I would really love to, still have that Automata essay on the Blu-ray, but I would love to hear a commentary from Mike Toole or someone else. I don't know, but it would be really cool to have a commentary included on this film. I think the film certainly warrants it, and if you're going to do something, tout something as we're going to do a Criterion release for this film, basically, then I think you need a commentary, because one of the things that Criterion is known for are commentaries. So yeah, so that's Robot Carnival on Blu-ray, which is super cool. I think that's due sometime next year. Next up, we'll try and get through the rest of these a little bit quicker, because those took like almost 10 minutes. The next one is 12 years in the making. This one's really cool. I remember when I first got into Discotek and their releases, especially Lupin releases. I remember looking up on Anime News Network some of the older stuff, and trying to find out what Anime Discotek had released in the past. And for those who don't know Discotek's history, they've been around since about 2004, 2005 sort of range, and they did a couple of like early anime releases of like Toei films like Puss in Boots and Taro the Dragon Boy and Animal Treasure Island, which I have all those actually. But they didn't really do anime properly like they do nowadays till like 2010 with Fist of the North Star, and it kind of went on snowball from there. In between time, they were mainly doing like live action Asian films, like cult films and things. But there was one announcement in there. In that time frame, like the early time frame, which was Lupin the Third: Legend of the Gold of Babylon, which is the Pink Jacket film. So yeah, it's based on the part 3 of Lupin, which is the 80s, 50 episode 80s Pink Jacket series, which currently doesn't have a DVD release, although it is officially subbed out there from TMS Entertainment. TMS, right? I can't remember. Is it TBS? It's TMS, not TBS. TMS. I'm going with it. Sometimes my brain just mixes things up. Anyway, yeah, that's out there, like officially subbed, which is cool. But yeah, the film coming to Blu-ray as well. So basically, I think I lost my train of thought there. But basically, back like all the way back in like 2005, Discotek announced that they were going to be putting out Lupin the Third: Legend of the Gold of Babylon on their DVD, and they never did. Ever. They put out Fuma Conspiracy back in like 2007 or something, and then eventually, like I think it was like 2011, they did Secret of Marmo and the original Lupin series, and it basically snowballed from there. And now they're like Discotek, otherwise known as the Lupin Studio, and all the other cool retro stuff. It's like they put out all the Lupin stuff, and we all love it, love them for it. But yeah, this film had just never come out. Apparently, they still had the license. I find that hard to believe. Maybe they just come around to re-licensing it. It seems more likely, but or whatever. I have no idea why it's taken them this long. But yeah, 12 years in the making. This is finally coming out, and the wait is probably cool because it's coming to Blu-ray, and they said they're going to be doing have I written it down here? So yeah, first time on Blu-ray anywhere actually. So yeah, that's anywhere in the world, not even in Japan. It's on Blu-ray, and they showed like a trailer. I saw like a trailer on their probably on their like Twitter, I think, like a trailer or clip of the film in HD. It looked good even with the Twitter compression. I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter. Anyway, yeah, 12 years in the making. They mentioned in the panel they're working on some cool special features, so that better mean a Reese Nelson commentary track. Maybe with Mike Toole. I'm quite happy if it's just Reese Nelson. Reese Nelson knows his stuff. It is Reese, right? Again, like my brain tends to get mixed up quite easily, but I'm pretty freaking sure. Let's just double check if I can just reach the Lupin thing here without smashing everything in the way. Is it Reed? It's Reed. Just before I looked at it, I realised it was going to be Reed, and yeah, not Reese Nielsen, Reed Nielsen. Did the commentary on Fuma Conspiracy and a couple of these specials. I really like him. Obviously did the one on Castle Cagliostro. He's like the Lupin the Third boffin, if you will. So yeah, that's a really, really, really cool release. I'm looking forward to that one. And that almost took 5 minutes to talk about. Holy crap, this video is going to be epically long. Okay, Lupin the Third Part 4 is the next thing I'm going to talk about. This was talked about Otakon. This is coming out in early 2018, dubbed edition. So yeah, that's interesting. So basically, I didn't know this until they talked about it at the panel, but the Toonami version, like that's currently airing, the dubbed version, the English language version, is based on the Italian version of Lupin the Third Part 4, which might sound like there are a couple of like more weeaboo type fans that might be going, oh no, no, no. But that's actually the original version of the show. It aired for the first time in Italy, and then like a year later or 6 months later or something, it eventually came out in Japan. Something I didn't know until this panel was there is slight differences between the two, which means that the dub isn't going to sync up to the Japanese version of the show. But Discotek have you covered. So basically, Lupin the Third Part 4, the Blue Jacket series, will be coming out on Blu-ray as a dub-only release sometime in 2018 after the Toonami run has finished airing, and then also probably in sometime in 2018, maybe later, will be coming out again as a sub-only release as well, which will match up to the Japanese version. It'll be the Japanese version. So yeah, that's interesting. Potentially having to buy Part 4 twice. Not so hot on that, I guess. I don't know. Because I would like to have both the dub and the sub. Like, I'm interested in the dub. It's cool. They got the Genny and Red Jacket cast back together. I want to listen to the dub. It's not my favorite. They're not my favorite Lupin actors. I know they are for most people, but I feel like that's more akin to the fact that you tend to be a fan of the ones that you're exposed to the first, or at least the most, I guess. And for me, as I'm currently sat here, my favourite is the Funimation cast, like Sunny Strait and stuff. I really love Sunny Strait as Lupin. But I'm looking forward to. I do like the Genian cast. I've seen like 32 episodes of the Red Jacket series so far. I need to get those DVDs. Still haven't got the first box set yet. I need to get on that. But anyway, yeah. So, like I said, early 2018, the Blue Jacket series is coming out dubbed, and eventually subbed again later on Blu-ray. I will probably buy both. So I can have both. So yeah, the next one. The next cool thing, another Otakon panel announcement is Tomorrow's Joe on Blu-ray, otherwise known as Ashita no Joe. This is the boxing series. Well, shouldn't say that. This is the boxing series movie. So yeah, this is a movie cut of like the first series. This has actually been out in English before. Tai-Seng Entertainment or something put this out on DVD. Dubbed and subbed, and this Blu-ray, this is coming to Blu-ray, will also include that dub. But yeah, this is a movie cut of the first series. I don't know when this movie was made in Japan. I'm guessing sometime before Ashita no Joe 2. It's the second series. So the first series is like 1970, and it's like 60 plus episodes. I forget exactly, but somewhere like 60 to 65, somewhere around there. And yeah, this is a movie cut, so there's going to be a lot cut out, but it's cool. It's still super cool that this is coming out, because it's something, I mean, it's come out in English before, so I guess it's slightly less cool, but it's still coming to Blu-ray, and it's something Ashita no Joe coming out in English, at least in this day and age, rather than whenever the hell that Tai-Seng Entertainment DVD came out, which I think was quite a while ago now. So yeah, ideally I would have liked the original series. I've not got around to watching it. It has been fully fan subbed. I'd really like to watch it. I think I've seen like the first episode, I'm pretty sure, and it's like I love Hajime no Ippo, and I like the first couple of Rocky films. I guess I like boxing as a sport. I should really like this anime, even if it's slightly more old-fashioned than Hajime no Ippo or something. But yeah, I should really like that show. so I should really get around to watching it. But so I'm very happy that this is coming out. I do sort of hope that if this does well, that we'll get the original series and then the second series out as well. The second series is actually streaming on like Crunchyroll and stuff, like in high definition and everything, which is kind of crazy. And I think the second series is actually an Osamu Dezaki production, so it should be like super good. I don't know if he did the first series. He may have done, but I know he definitely did the second one. I'm already losing my voice. We're not even close to bloody halfway yet. It's ridiculous. Okay, so is there anything else I want to talk about with that? Not really. Oh, currently it's called Tomorrow's Joe. The name is still being discussed. Like they might call it Champions Joe. What I would ideally like is, Tomorrow's Joe or Champions Joe. I don't really care. But underneath it, it's for example, it'll be like Champion Joe, Ashita no Joe the movie or something, or Champion Joe the movie, and then Ashita no Joe, or just have the original Japanese like the Romanji version on there somewhere. Would be cool. I don't think they'll do it. It doesn't really matter, but it would be cool. Anyway, so the next thing is actually not a re-release from Discotek, but it is going to be a re-release. So